Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin, and in today's video, we are going to look at how to answer questions on sentence explanation in Jamb English. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. Now, our focus will be on 2019 and 2020 consolidated Jamb questions on English language Jamb questions. And we are zeroing in on the section that has to do with sentence explanation. So let's begin with consolidated Jamb questions, English language 2019. And the instruction is as follows. In each of questions 26 to 30, select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. So it is sentence explanation. We want to look at each sentence and then pick the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. There are a number of grammatical principles that we shall be using to solve these questions. I would like you to use your past questions compilation guide and then be on the same page with me as I guide you through the process of answering questions correctly in this section. And we are going to do that for 2019 and for 2020. And I implore you to watch this video till the end, because when you do so, you will master the various grammatical principles that will help you to explain sentences correctly. Let's go. Now, question number 26. The men were not pawns in someone else's political game. Now, when you are said to be a pawn in someone else's political game, it means you are just used, you are just used to the advantage of the person. Someone else's idea is what you are helping him or her to achieve. And you are not achieving your own interest, you are helping to achieve someone else's interest. That is what it means to be a pawn in someone else's game. But then the sentence is saying that the men were not pawns in someone else's political game. All right, so let's look at the options. A, the action they executed was their idea. Well, more like it. It wasn't someone else's idea. But let's look at other options and see if we have a better option. If we don't, then we settle for option A. Now, option B, the men used someone else's plan, eliminated. Now, let me also, at this point, explain what I mean by the elimination method. That's a method you can use not only in answering questions in this section, but in other sections of whenever you have objective questions, whether it is in Jamb, whether it is in West African Senior School Certificate Examination, or even the Junior School Certificate Examination, or in any other examination, international examination such as IELTS. Once such questions have to do with, picking an option, you can use the elimination method in any exam that presents objective options. All right. So you use the elimination method when you find an option completely opposite to what is required. You eliminate it immediately. And by the time you eliminate the options that are clearly incorrect, then you will be left with the correct option. So that is also a technique. So option B is eliminated because the option is saying that the men use someone else's plan, but the sentence is saying that the men were not pawns in someone else's political game. All right. They were used by someone else's game. No. They loved playing the political game. No. So option A is the best option. The action they executed was their idea. They were not pawns in someone else's political game. Now, question number 27. The class was tired of the new boy jawing away all the time. Now, when you look at the word jawing, J-A-W, of course, you look at it here, it is derived from the word jaw. And when you look at the word jaw, it is always used to refer to talking. You know, because when you talk, then your jaw is involved in articulating your speech sound. So that's why you hear the saying that it is better to jaw than to war. And so when you are looking at the jaw or jawing, then it always refers to talking, you know. So the class was tired of the new boy jawing away all the time. So when you use this technique, looking at the meaning of a word and both the connotative meaning and the derivative meaning, once you explore that, then you'll be able to interpret the entire sentence. You can see how we looked at the meaning of the word and its derivation, and that enables us to interpret it. So when you are talking excessively, you can be said to be jawing away all the time. Jaw, joy away all the time. Jawing away all the time. So let's look at the options. A, he bit off people's jaws. No. B, he was always chewing in class. No. C, he talked continuously in class. Yes, he talked continuously in class. Well, let me use the drawing device. Well, the first one, we have picked option A. Then here, option C is correct. He talked continuously in class. Option D, he was always making trouble for the class. No, it's not about making trouble for the class. It's about talking continuously in class. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Now, question number 28. The governor parried all the questions put to him by the journalist. When you parry something, you just, let me use the word, you push them away. You know, you just push them away. Let's use that expression. But when you parry questions, you avoid answering them. That's just the simple explanation. You avoid answering them. All right. So let's look at A. The governor answered all the questions brilliantly. No, that is not the correct option. B. The governor failed all the questions. No. D. The governor evaded all the questions. Yes, the governor evaded. That's the word, evaded. He avoided answering the questions. So in this case, that's exactly the option. Evaded means avoided, right? Well, option C was omitted here, but the answer is option D, all right? So question number 29. Bassy is as hard as nails. When someone is as hard as nails, the person is tough, but the real meaning is that the person is callous, the person is wicked. You can say he's heartless, he has no sympathy. Well, that's the accurate meaning when you say that someone is as hard as nails. So let's look at the options. A, Bassy is very strong. Well, close to it, but that's not the meaning it conveys all the time. B, Bassy is very brave. Well, some people may want to go for this option, but that's really not what it means. C, Bassy is determined. No. D, Bassy is unsympathetic. That is the best option. When someone is described to be as hard as nails, it has to do with being tough, being having no sympathy. I mean, being cruel, if you like. Then, question number 30, the conference is biennial. If something is biennial, it happens every 2 years. You know, if something is annual, it happens every year. All right? So, biennial. Biennial means it happens if something is biennial, of course, it happens every 2 years, okay? Okay, so the word bi is two, you know, when you say biennial, it has to do with 2 years. So option A, the conference is held twice every year. No. B, the conference is held every 2 years. Yes. C, the conference is held every other year. Some people might want to pick this option, but the fact is that when you talk of biennial, bi means 2. So it refers to 2 years, actually. Now, D, the conference lasts for 2 years. No. So let's move on. We are through with 2019 consolidated Jamb questions, English language. So we are now moving over to 2020. All right. So let's go there. So here we are, consolidated Jamb questions, English language 2020. The instruction is similar. In each of questions 51 to 55, select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. Question number 51, Emeka wished he had started school early. Emeka wished he had started school early. How do we explain this? First, look at the sentence. Emeka wished he had started school early. If you wish you had done something early, first, the meaning is that you didn't do it. If you had done it, then you will have no business wishing that you had done it. So the fact is that Emeka didn't start school early. And so it was a kind of regret that he didn't start school early. That's the picture we have in this sentence. So you first look at the meaning it conveys, then you look through the options. Option A, Emeka starts school early as he wished, opposite to the meaning, so we eliminate it. So you can use the elimination method once an option doesn't correspond to the meaning you have already analyzed. You eliminate it right away. So option A is eliminated. B, Emeka regretted starting school early. We already analyzed that Emeka didn't start school early, which is why he wished he had started school early. So option C, option B eliminated. Now, option C, Emeka regretted not starting school early. This is the correct option. He regretted not starting school early. He didn't start school early, and he's regretting. He wished he would have been happier if he had started school early, but he did not. All right. So he wished he had started school early. He regretted not starting school early. So that's the correct option. Option B, Emeka could have started school early if he had wished. No. So eliminated. Option C is correct. Now let's go to question number 52. All right. Question number 52. You could have heard the sound if you weren't asleep. You could have heard the sound if you weren't asleep. What this means is that you were asleep, so you couldn't hear the sound. You could have heard the sound, but you didn't. Why? Because you were asleep. If you weren't asleep, you could have heard the sound. So that's the explanation. So with this in mind, let's look through the options. So the step is simple. The procedure is simple. First, look at the given sentence and then analyze it with your background grammatical knowledge. Ask yourself, what does it mean? Now, you will. There are also a number of literary devices you can use. There is a previous video I had done on this topic where I discussed some literary devices that will help you to figure out the meaning of a sentence if it contains an idiomatic expression. Some sentences are they contain idioms, and so there are some literary devices that will help you in decoding or figuring out the meaning of an idiom. And as follows: you will use the device of metaphor, by first of all having the idea that an idiom stands for something else, right? Then imagery. You first ask yourself, what picture does this convey in my mind? All right. If it contains some images, then you will have a picture in your mind, and that will help you to interpret or explain the idiom or the idiomatic expression. Then you can also use what we call symbolism. A symbol is when something stands for an idea. All right. Then you can also use a device we call contextualization. So you can look for how to explain an idiomatic expression. All right. You will find it among other videos on this channel. But let's continue. Most of the sentences here require pure grammatical principles to explain. So they are simpler. Now, option B, you were asleep, so you did not hear the sound. That is the correct option. You were asleep. Because the sentences say you could have heard the sound if you weren't asleep. So you were asleep, so you couldn't hear the sound. You were asleep, so you did not hear the sound. That's the correct option. Option C, you heard the sound, though you were asleep, eliminated. That's not the correct option. D, you did not hear the sound, though you were not asleep, incorrect. So let's go to question number 53. All right. Now, question number 53, Tom ought not to have told me. All right, Tom ought not to have told me. This means that Tom told me and he shouldn't have told me. Ought not to means shouldn't have. You should not have told me. It was not right for you to. It was not right for Tom to have told me. It was wrong, actually. When you ought not to do something, it means you should not do it. It's not proper for you to do it. That's the accurate interpretation. Then let's look at option A. Tom did not tell me, but he should. No, eliminated, because that's opposite to the meaning. B, perhaps Tom was wrong to have told me. It's not perhaps. We are not suggesting here. Tom told me, but it was wrong. So that is C. Tom told me, but it was wrong of him. That's the accurate interpretation. You know, Tom ought not to have told me. Tom told me, but it was wrong for him to have told me. D, it was necessary for Tom not to tell me. Well, that's not the correct, that's not the best explanation. So question number 54, Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. Well, that means Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. It means that, you know, if anytime Bolade cooked rice, then well, Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. He is in the habit, that's what it means. He has been in the habit of not cooking the rice well. Well, when you say, you know, yes, Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. When it comes to cooking rice, he would make a mess of it. That's the picture this sentence gives us. Then option A, it was typical of Bolade to make mess of things. Well, it's not everything. There is a specific case here. He would make a mess of cooking the rice, but we are not told of his making a mess of all other things, right? So it was typical of Bolade to make a mess of cooking the rice, but not of every other thing. So option A is eliminated. B, Bolade cannot cook. That's not the meaning, all right? That's not the meaning, because we are not told that Bolade cannot cook any other type of food. The emphasis here and the reference is specifically to cooking the rice. So we can't generalize. B tends to generalize, and A also tends to generalize in its own way. So both A and B are eliminated. C, Bolade will not cook the rice. Well, that's more likely, you know, because if you know that somebody, you know, is in the habit of making a mess of cooking a type of food, then, of course, it's not advisable to let him cook it. The Bolade does not like cooking rice. We are not told that. The issue is not whether he likes cooking rice or not, but he would always make a mess of it. D, Bolade does not like cooking rice. No, you know, so that's really not the case. So C is closer to the meaning. Bolade will not cook the rice. Question number 55, the manager said that the new loaf was the last word in bakery. Now, when something is the last word in something, it means that it's exceptionally good. Is the best, if you like, all right, in that particular thing. The last word in something shows that it is the best in that. So the manager said that the new loaf was the last word in bakery. A, The loaf was the best ever baked. That's correct. B, the loaf was the last to be baked. No. C, the loaf was the worst to have been baked. Opposite, eliminated. D, the loaf was the last in the bakery's directory. No. A is the best, is the correct option. The loaf was the best ever baked. So this is where we draw the curtain in today's video. We have been able to look at a sentence explanation. All right. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. We have been looking at how to answer questions on sentence explanation in Jamb English. If you enjoyed this video, do like the video and share it with your friends and relations. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you and